YouTube, and on today's video I figured I'd just go over a couple things that I dislike about video games. Now obviously I love video games, I love tons of the things, but there are a handful of just either game genres or just things about games that I don't like that are just instant turnoffs. So I figured I'd just make a video about the things I dislike, and then I can make a follow-up video about things that I love about video games. So the first thing here I have is I don't like turn-based RPGs, so as they're often referred to as Japanese role-playing games. I don't like JRPGs that have only 3 characters in a party at one time. And the reason why I don't like that is because I just find it's a lot more limiting in terms of what party type I can use. Like, for instance, you're almost always guaranteed to use a warrior type, a healer, and a black mage or another warrior type for damage. And I just find that so limiting. You know, with a 4th party member, I find that I can use, you know, just an oddball class like a thief or a defense type character or something like that. It's just when I only have 3 party members, I feel like I can never just really get everything in that I want to get in, so to speak. Like, for instance, I'm playing through Chrono Trigger right now, and I feel like I always have to have Merle on my team, or on my party, along with Chrono, so that way they can use the Aura Whirl tech, I believe it's called, the one that heals the entire party for like 150 HP. And so I just don't like it in most JRPGs when you can only have 3 party members. I don't know if this is just a me thing, but I just always find it very limiting. Next up, I dislike what's known as the Sony exclusive, the PlayStation exclusive template. So by this I mean games like Uncharted, God of War, stuff like that. You know, the typical Sony next generation huge first party AAA games. I just find them all to be so boring. Like, they never really do enough with their mechanics and everything. Like, Uncharted is like a perfect example of this, where in Uncharted, it's a cover-based third-person shooter, but like, all you ever have to do to win in an Uncharted is just look over every like 5 seconds, look over the barrier every 5 seconds, and you win. Every gunfight plays out the same and everything, and it's just so boring. And I know some people will always say, oh, well, those games are about the story, but I think like a video game should be more than just about a story and everything. And to caveat off that, the next thing, I don't like walking sims, like walking sim genre of games. So stuff like Eco, stuff like Shadow of the Colossus to an extent. Shadow of the Colossus is a little bit more gamey for my taste though. But stuff like Eco, stuff like, what was the big one? Firewall, I think it was, that came out like 3 years ago. The games where you just walk and then maybe solve a puzzle or two, and then the story plays out and you beat the game. I don't like those games. Like, I find those games to be very boring. Again, like, I don't know, it's just the counter opposite of what a video game is to me, because like a video game to me is something that you play, like you actually, you know, interact and play in the world and everything. But like games like that, you don't really interact, you just kind of walk. So the next thing I don't like is 8-bit / 16-bit indie throwback games. So stuff like Shovel Knight, stuff like Celeste. Some of you guys might remember Celeste from last year. It won like a bunch of awards. I did not care for Celeste at all. Or what was the other big one? Bloodstained Circle of the Moon, which was a Castlevania, like the action platformer Castlevania game throwback. I didn't care for any of those games at all. Like, just in this day and age, whenever I see that pixelated art style and everything, whenever I see it on a game, an indie game, I always just groan. like that's art style. It's just so plain and played out to me that it's just bad. Like, I don't really play those indie throwback games at all. And it's just because, like, it just feels so copy and pasted. Like, it feels like the laziest thing to do to me is to make, like, an indie throwback retro platformer and everything like that. Like, an 8-bit, 16-bit style one. Like, and the reason why it seems, like, really played out to me is just because of how many we've gotten. And not to mention, like, making those types of games is kind of easy. Like, you know, I know a little bit about game design, so I know how these things work, but, like, making those styles of games is, like, easy, generally speaking. So whenever I see those games, I always just groan. Like, a lot of people loved Celeste last year. I did not like Celeste one bit. Well, I liked aspects of it, but as a game as a whole, I just didn't care for it. Or, like, I know a lot of people really love Sonic Mania, but, like, I don't know. When I look at it, I just think, oh, I could have played that on the Sega Genesis, you know? I just don't care for those styles of games anymore. And then last but not least, I don't like online-only games. I know some people really like online-only games, but I'm more about a single-player experience, and the thing with online-only games is they're always geared toward a huge multiplayer experience, and I just don't care for that. I think it's bad for, like, a preservation standpoint as well for video games, because in 10 years, like, those servers for Destiny won't be active. Destiny is, like, a perfect example of it, where it's a first-person shooter, but it's online only. So, like, in 10 years, the online servers aren't going to be up for Destiny, and no one's going to be able to play it anymore. And it's just really annoying to me. Like, I don't like stuff like that. I think you should have access to like, a form of media that you buy. I think you should just be able to plop it in and everything at any time and just be able to experience it. But yeah, so those are some things that I dislike about video games. Let me know what you guys think about my little list here. Anything that you guys agree on, anything you guys disagree on, let me know in the comments. Be sure to subscribe, because I will be doing another part of this where I talk about the things in gaming that I do like, and be sure to comment and all that wonderful stuff. Follow me on Twitter. Have a wonderful day, YouTube, and peace.